is Nova. I'm just going to give you guys an update on what I've been doing in the Growing Your Greens garden, as well as show you what my peppers look like a week after I put them in the ground. So here is the dangerous lychee plant, which I was standing in front of just now. All those white flowers come off of it, and up there, those red things are the lychee fruits. And it's really weird because it is cold and windy outside right now in July. Okay, check this out. I'm not allowed to be doing this, so don't say anything to anybody. Ow, ow! They really hurt, and I should be using 2 hands. And this one's not ripe enough because it's supposed to come out easily. There it goes though. See my lychee tomato? Haha. It tastes like a grape kiwi berry with seeds. So these are the lychee tomatoes that we transplanted the other day, the huge ones that had grown out into the strawberry bed for some reason or other, probably because a bird ate them and then pooped further away, because that was pretty far from the lychee tomato plant over there. And then we have the actual lychee tomato growing on this wrought iron trellis here, and beneath where I dug everything up were all these little baby lychee tomato plants. And they don't have spikes yet, so it was pretty easy for me to go ahead and dig them up with all the dirt that was around them and put them in these 4-inch pots. And there was about 16 in all that I got out from under this area. And we're probably going to transplant these over in the community garden plot that we have, because that will keep trespassers out of our garden. Nothing like being spiked by these. I have scars on my shoulders from walking past them. And all those other ones that I transplanted are over here underneath the mighty tree collards. And over here. And keep going to all over here. So we're gonna have a lot of lychee tomato plants. If anyone wants to buy them, $100 a piece, no delivery, you have to pick them up yourself. You can contact me about that. Alright, my beautiful pepper bed that has a perfectly flat soil level that I'm so proud of now also has perfect stakes placed at the same height on each plant. I don't know if you can see what I did there, but I was very careful to make it all really straight and really symmetrical. And then what I did was I used these clips here to clip the peppers onto their stakes. I'm getting blurry. And these clips are kind of cool because they have that little indentation that actually wraps right around the stake and holds your plants up. So now we're going to have some peppers going straight up to the sky. So this pepper bed is in the full sun. There's not really anything around it to shade it out all day. And I planted these about a week ago, and you can see peppers are already starting to come to fruition. But my friend Jason told me he had peppers planted both in full sun and in the shade, which I do too. You can't even see my shade peppers because they're so shaded, but there's one there. There's a whole bunch planted in this bed of lamb's quarters. It's kind of all shaded out. And Jason said that his peppers that were planted in partial shade actually grew faster and better, so I wonder if that'll be the case for us. This kale and this plant here, it shades out all the peppers down there, which are actually not really planted in nice rows the way my bed is. But maybe they'll do better, you never know. So the kakai pumpkins, have been growing up this trellis uncontrolled, and I had to come around here just the other day and take again these kind of clips. This is a bigger size than what I used for the peppers, and train the kakai pumpkin vines to go up, up, up this really tall trellis, because otherwise they'll shade out the kale and the parsley that's growing underneath. So we want these kakai pumpkins, and there's one really big actually. Let me get my hand in there so you can see. It's like bigger than my hand. There goes another one. And these kakai pumpkins, we just want them to grow up, not vine out on the ground, so that we can have maximum yield to our space and have a whole crop of parsley and kale as well as our pumpkins. So that actually took me a while to train up the leaves without, they get kind of like they'll snap really easily when you try to change their growth direction, so you have to be really gentle when you're working with them. And then we've got this tomato bed, which I didn't plant, so I'm not really gonna say much about it, but it's looking good. Over around the corner though are the tomatoes that I planted, and here they are. Now I did kind of the same thing. I put the marigolds in between each tomato, but I was not fortunate enough to have the use of any Texas tomato cages, so my guys are a little more wild and free looking over here. And I'm not sure what the plan is, but I love them anyway. I love my tomato plants. And last but not least for today, this is my final job, and that is the mallow with the purple flowers here. See, because these are two different plants. This is the lychee tomato with the white flowers intermingled with the mallow with the purple flowers. And that seems to be getting some kind of weird rust. You can see that. The leaves kind of have like these brownish yellow spots. So my final job of the night is going to be to pluck all those rusty leaves off and put them in the compost. And I don't know how I'm going to reach the ones that are way up there, but maybe I'll figure it out. So my job is to pluck all the ones that have rust off and put them in the compost, and I don't know how I'm going to reach those ones way up there, but we'll start down low and see how far I get. So thanks for checking me out in the garden today. I have the camera bound up in the kakai pumpkin vine instead of using a tripod, so that's kind of cool. Wish I could show you guys that. But I'm gonna get to leafing the mallow plant, and that will probably take me the rest of the night. So I'm gonna say goodbye, and this was Nova Lake.